We're good?
Yeah, you guys are live, but I'm gonna jump on over here and make sure it's all good.
Okay. I will wait to start then. All right. We are here with the family of Bonnie Drane. Can you tell us a little bit about Bonnie?
Well, one thing that stood out about Bonnie, my mother, was she lit up any room that she walked into. She had a smile that was very contagious. Her personality, you couldn't find another just like her. She was awesome. No matter what life threw her way, no matter what it was, she got over it. No matter what it was.
One of the strongest work ethics that I've ever seen in a person. She was always working, always making a way.
And can you tell us about her disappearance?
That one was a hard.
It was really hard.
Yeah.
Um,
So when we all learned that it had been a while since anyone talked to her, um, it was difficult because we thought that, she's grown. We can't track her every move. Um, and then it just hit like something's wrong, something's not right. And I would like to say we all had a really close connection with our mom. Some more than others, probably. Um, so, and it just like as the months went by, it just kept getting harder and harder. And we wanted nothing more than some answers. We wanted answers. We wanted her home. Um, Especially the ones that had younger children at the time, because my mom was one of the best grannies, nanas that anyone would ever find. Like, she dedicated herself to being a good nana. And that's what all the kids know her as, all her grandkids. That's what everybody knew her as.
even the ones that's not her grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so, and then just the 7-year mark, just it doesn't seem real.
Right.
Like and you would never expect this type of thing to happen to you. So when it happened to us, we're like, why?
Right. No, she was last seen at the UT hospital when she was visiting family.
Yes, she was visiting my brother-in-law at the time. Well, she wanted to meet me up there. So, well, actually, she saw his kids, her cousins, because she didn't want to see him in the shape that he was in. And so she came up and we walked into the hospital and she talked to her cousin Tanya and a few of the other cousins that was there and told them, that she was sorry to hear about their dad and stuff like that, and that was all praying that he'd get well, which he did, and he passed away. Um, but actually, I saw her. I think it was January, either the 6th or the 9th, because the night I saw her at UT, I had gave her some money, but she had called me and said that she needed to go to the laundromat and would I meet her and give her some more money. And I had met her at the New Waggles. Now I can't remember what street or anything it was on, but I did go meet her and I gave her more money. And last I saw of her was when she ran back into the store.
And that was on January 6th?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And she was at the hospital visiting family on the 27th of December?
yes.
All right. Was she with anyone when you saw her the last time?
At the hospital she was with Brenda. At the store, I didn't get out and go in the store. I just called her and she came out. So Brenda might have also been there. I'm not really sure, but Bonnie was the only one I saw.
Okay. What store was that?
Waggles was at a new location. Uh, but me, I never did keep
Right.
streets, like I should in my mind or address or whatever.
Okay. Um, Now, did she have a vehicle?
Yes,
Um, was that vehicle found?
finally. Um, we had got out and searched for it and we couldn't find it. And who was it found it? You girls?
So with the vehicle, her husband, Tim Drane at the time, he said he found the vehicle. We don't know how, but he said he found it. So it was located off of Buffett Mill Road in Knoxville. That's near Easttown area, if anybody's familiar with Knoxville. Actually, not too far from where I live. This vehicle of hers was found with everything that she ever owned at the time. Her clothes folded up really nice and nice, like she just washed them. Her shoes, everything lined up in a row in the back seat. Um, her purse with all of her ID, social, everything that she would keep on her was not on her. It was in that car.
Okay.
The seat itself, so my mom was a little taller than me.
Okay.
So I got in the seat just to see if it was her that parked it there. And that seat was adjusted as far back as it could go and leaned back as far as it could go. Like some big person was driving it. It had been there for a couple weeks, actually. The neighbors, everybody that lived in that apartment complex, they said that they noticed it one morning, but they didn't see anybody drop it off. They didn't know what it was, who it was, anything like that. They just left it there, and it was sitting there for 2 weeks before it was found.
Okay.
So after we found it, the car, I want to say it was towed to my aunt's house, her sister.
Had to be brought on a flatbed
Yep.
because the keys was not in the
Right. So they brought it to my aunt's house to have it fingerprinted, just search for it, see if anything was in there. They didn't find anything at my aunt's house, so they say they have to take it back to the impound lot. Nothing was found there. That was the last we heard about the car. And then a couple months ago, last year, 2024, we had found out that her car had been sold from the impound lot, and we had no idea. And there was still belongings in her car that we wasn't able to take because they were still searching the vehicle, so they
Right.
wouldn't let us have anything. And they
They
sold her
didn't
car.
let us
out from
know
under us.
that it had been up for sale. None of that. They just sold it.
What happened to her belongings that were in it?
We don't know. We have no idea. And when we talked to the detective about it, he had no idea because the new detective that's on it wasn't on it previous. So he didn't even know they sold her car. He didn't know her car was even in the impound. It wasn't written down in the notes from what he told my older sister Carly.
Okay. So you got a new detective. Was it the old detective that sold the vehicle or knew that the vehicle was being sold?
The old detective, yes.
Okay.
The new detective had no idea.
Okay.
No idea.
Now the keys for that car, were they ever found?
No.
No.
Never.
Okay. Her husband, how was their relationship prior to their disappearance?
I personally don't know, honestly. When I was around, I'm the baby, so when I was around, everything was perfect. There was no problems. Even though I knew there was somewhere, But I personally never seen a bad relationship between them with my own eyes.
Okay.
It's pretty rocky at times.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Was he interviewed or questioned by police about her disappearance?
That was something else about that. He told me, he said, He said, Mom, he said, you go and start the progress of missing person report. I have a few things to do and I'll be back later. Well, him being my husband, I would figure, well, he should be the one to do it. And so I've always wondered why he had me to go get the ball rolling and then him stay gone for 3 hours and run in just as I'm getting ready to leave. And so I don't think that he was questioned enough. I don't think the detectives done what they should have done in trying to find out what happened.
What day was it that he wanted you to start the police report for?
Oh gosh, I don't remember because it was over 24 hours. You know, they say you have to wait 24 hours. So I don't know whether my older daughter could remember or not because she went to the police station with me.
I know it was in the beginning,
Uh,
2018. Very beginning.
it could have been before had to have been before the 20, might have even been on the 28th.
Okay.
Now, I'm not 100% sure. You might could find out from the police department here
Okay.
in Knoxville.
Some things disappear in your mind after 7 years.
Oh, yeah. A lot of things, and too, I've been sick, so.
So you last physically saw her on January 6th. Did you talk to her after that?
No.
Okay. When was the last time he said he saw her?
You know, I don't even remember if he even said, tell you the truth.
Okay. Do you know what his statement was to the police when he?
No.
Okay. Now the apartment her vehicle was found at. Does she have any ties to that apartment? Was that her apartment
No.
complex?
The apartment she was staying in was over off Rutledge Pike. So it wasn't a good distance away from each other, but it was still like a good distance away.
Okay.
So I don't see her being over at that apartment complex at all for any reason, honestly.
Now, did she have a cell phone?
She had a cell phone and it got broken.
Okay.
And then he was actually supposed to have been bringing her another one that she didn't even get, right?
She never got it.
She never got the chance to get it.
Okay, so. Um.
Did she live with the husband at the time?
No,
No.
she was staying with Brenda, the other missing person, in some apartment complex that has now been rebought and remodeled since then.
Were
Did
they
they
separated or were they getting divorced?
From what I can remember, he was out of town doing something.
I think he was in Johnson City.
Yeah, he was in Johnson City doing something. He's been in the just different fields like acting fields, stuff like that. So he was always kind of a busier guy where he was always away.
Okay.
But I want to say he was supposed to be coming from Johnson City to bring her a new phone.
Yeah.
Now, the apartment complex, was there any surveillance footage or any?
No, so at that time, that apartment complex was the one where they found their car. There was nothing there.
Okay.
It was honestly not the nicest apartment complex, same as the one that she was living in.
Okay.
Pretty ran down. We actually wanted them to run fingerprints at the one at Brenda's apartment, but they said that there was too many fingerprints to go through, so they didn't do that.
Gotcha.
Do you know if anybody at the apartment complex that the vehicle was found was ever interviewed?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Was she working at the time?
She had been working at, wasn't it Shoney's or was it Sonic? I don't know for sure whether she's working.
I want to say she was at Sonic at that time, which was honestly not. It's not far from the apartment her car was found in. but I want to say that's the last spot that she was working with Shoney's. Because I was working with her, or not Shoney's, Sonic. I was working with her at Sonic the year before she went missing.
Okay. Her coworkers, were any of them talked to?
I don't think so.
No, I
Okay.
don't think so.
I knew most of them, and most of them, they said that they had no clue where they were or where she was. They was asking me for any updates I had, and unfortunately, I haven't.
Okay. Now, did she have any social medias or anything?
She had a Facebook page,
Okay.
but that's all I know.
Were you ever able to get access to it, or?
No, that was on her phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you ever able to get phone records to see who she was talking to prior to her disappearance?
No.
Uh, Now you said she left with Brenda Carroll, from the hospital,
Mhm.
and then now she's missing.
Mhm.
Do you believe their disappearances are connected?
Oh yeah, I do. Because Brenda, Bonnie, and Will, all three knew one another, and I do believe that when one left, all three left. So
Okay. Were they living? I know you said Brenda and Bonnie were living together. Was Will living there too, or?
no,
Our knowledge, he was, his father had put him up in a hotel room.
Okay.
But that's all we know of.
Okay. So, do you know if they were last seen together?
don't
No.
have any
I
idea.
have no
Okay.
idea.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't get the phone records. Uh,
Did Bonnie and Brenda hang out with Will often? Were they close and friends?
Knowing my mom and being around her so much, I never knew Brenda or Will at all to be friends with her. That could be something she didn't want to mention to me, being a daughter. But I really don't. I've never heard their names mentioned. I've never seen them around my mom. And I was the one taking her around before she got the car, to court dates, stuff like that. So, I was helping her out for the most part while she was still around. And I never heard their name not once. Or
But
even seen their
the
face.
night that the night she came to the hospital,
Right.
she introduced me to Brenda.
Mhm.
And so I actually saw her and met her and everything. And then she could have been, like I say, at Waggles with her that day. I don't know, because I didn't go in. But it's just strange how all three of them wound up disappearing at the same time.
right.
With no trail or anything left behind. It doesn't make sense.
Was that the first time you met Brenda?
Hmm.
Okay. Had she mentioned any of them prior to that?
Yeah, she named Will, and then she named Brenda. You know, as being someone that she knew and talked to and stuff like that. But we had talked to I don't know whether some people don't believe in psychics and some people does. So we had talked. Rachel had talked to a psychic, and they was telling her, that she was near water and stuff like that.
Right.
But we got out and walked and searched and looked and stuff to see. We put out flyers, and we went to Chattanooga, and just traveled around. We never did hear anything from
Did the police ever do a search?
that. They said they did, but to my knowledge, I don't think they really done what they should have done.
Where did they say they searched it?
As far as I don't really know whether they ever said anything
Okay.
or they could have searched or anything.
So did they bring out any like cadaver dogs or?
Now they said,
So I don't really remember much about the old detective because honestly, I didn't hear much from the old detective. But the new detective had said that he did get a group together with cadaver dogs, and they searched 4 different spots. Nothing was found.
Do you know what spots they searched?
He didn't tell me nothing. As he said, it's an open investigation. He can't tell me.
But now the investigation's closed.
Do you know why they closed it?
I didn't know that. Was gonna,
Neither did I.
Well, now, if I'm not mistaken, that's what Rachel told me, that it's been 7 years. And so they are considering that it's a closed deal.
That's strange.
Now, I'm pretty sure call her and see, but I'm pretty sure that's what she said. Yeah, messenger and see if
that doesn't
that's
make any sense.
messenger and see if that's not what she said.
Now the new detective, has he talked to anyone?
He's talked to Rachel.
Yeah, he has talked to Rachel, my Aunt Rachel, and he has talked to our older sister, Carly, which
Okay.
is not here now. He couldn't make it.
Okay.
And then I think that's the only 2 people.
Did they
just
close the
Rachel and Carly that I know of.
So the detective didn't close?
Um,
Where's his manager?
What did he say?
It's me, Granny Green.
Skylar.
Okay.
Do you want to be on speakerphone?
Do you want to be on speakerphone? Okay.
Asked her what he did say.
Oh, you will. He said that the FBI has a $10,000 reward for any information, and that the case is still open.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought she told me.
I
Now,
break it
no,
like.
I thought they always was about to get up and fight someone.
okay, now I've been sick though. You all know that. Y'all know I got cancer, and I hope that I was 27. I hope that's gone. But
So back in August, the FBI put out a $10,000 reward for any information on finding or leading, whatever. But from there, I haven't heard any leads.
Okay.
But everything that they have said, they've come up dry on everything.
Okay.
So,
Where's the husband now?
I think somewhere in Alabama.
Okay.
is he still
I have no idea.
Okay.
He don't really talk to us kids.
he's got into a
He is out living his life.
yeah.
So, honestly, yeah, simple as that. He's outliving his life. That's what that is.
What did he
Isn't
do?
he engaged now?
Oh, I don't know. He went to Las Vegas and got into some kind of politicians
Yeah,
or
helping
something.
the mayor of Alabama, stuff like that. He's like the mayor of Alabama,
Yeah,
the runner-up mayor, the right-hand man. Or something.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I don't really try to keep that.
But he has had a few episodes with the police. So
Do you know if the new detective has talked to him?
Not that I know of, not to my knowledge.
Okay. Now, was there ever any tips or sightings of her?
I know back when she first went missing, there was a bridge around the homeless shelter. I think that's what it is.
Mhm.
The homeless shelter. A lot of people live there. And
Tent City. I think that's
yeah,
what
Yeah,
they
they
call
call
it
it
Tent City or something
Tent
like that. And when we first was looking for her, they did mention seeing her, but they didn't know her as Bonnie. They knew her as Pocahontas.
Oh.
So Pocahontas, they called her that because Mom always wore her hair on the side in
in a
braid.
braid.
Always. And that was her name out there on the street.
Do you know if that was ever confirmed?
I don't think so because that was us doing the legwork and talking to people. So.
After that, did they ever mention seeing her again? Or
but there was people from that apartment there that knew her. And
She was known.
what's that one guy's
She was known.
one guy's name that Swanton.
I say that. I don't think we should bring any of that up.
Yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
that's a good idea for our safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like with posts and everything that we all share, and like even a few years ago when it was still circulating and everything, there were people, clickbait
Right.
comment and be like, yeah, she's here, she's here, she's here. And so really we honestly might never know, like, if someone is actually seeing her or if they're just trying to scam people and
Right.
stuff like that.
Now, there was never any more hits on her bank account or anything like that.
I hate to kind of say it, but I feel like a lot, like really, her whole entire family has been kept in the dark. Like
Mhm.
they haven't they haven't told us shit. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. They haven't told shit. They haven't. I don't know how I look at it. Seriously, how I look at it. KPD sees her as somebody that's had a bad past, and because of that bad past, they don't care. She has a record, yeah, and they don't care because of that, and that's how I feel.
But that her record is not who she is.
No, it's not.
No. Come here.
Jessica, do you have any more questions?
Leading up to her disappearance, was she acting differently in any way, either mentally or physically?
Not that I saw, not that she showed. I feel like our mother Bonnie was pretty upfront with us, so I feel like she would have said something if she was feeling down or needed some help to get back up. She had all of us.
Has she ever went missing before? Obviously not for this length of time, but for any length of time, has she ever just gone off the grid for any time before?
No, ma'am. No, even in her darkest days, we always got a call from her. And that's honestly what surprised us when she went missing. Because, like I just said, even in her darkest days, she always called us. What if it was one time a day, 2 times a day? She always called us just to let us know, hey, I'm fine, I'm okay, don't worry. So it was really weird for people to say, oh, she went to the beach to get away or something. Like at that time, she had grandbabies that were about to be born. She wouldn't have left and missed that. So it's mind-boggling, honestly. It really is.
Now, I'm looking at the community questions. Did Brenda or Will have a vehicle that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Is there a Facebook page that people can follow the case?
Is the Bring Bonnie Home still?
We started up hashtag Bring Bonnie Home.
Still
But I'm not.
around, I'm not sure.
I know I use it every time I make a post about
Yeah,
it.
me too.
But honestly, we don't really have any updates to give, so we kind of haven't.
Jessica, you have any more questions?
Just if Bonnie was to be watching this, is there anything that you would like to say to her?
If she was able to, if she's able to let us know that she's okay.
Mom, if you see this and you can't let us know that you're alive, just know that we love you. And if you ever can come home, you've missed so much already.